Today, I wanted to talk about the freedom, what freedom really is. Actually, I think that even after a certain point of time in life, we don't want a lot of other things, but what you actually want is freedom. Most people, I think, want the freedom, and that's why we need to understand what freedom really means. And if you ask to the peoples nearby, or nowadays people got access to internet, so they can ask to a lot of peoples like it was never before. So you can ask in your countries or abroad, you can consider like whole earth, you can ask anyone, and I think that most people will give you the answers of the freedom, like buying the expensive things, which will be like, I think, buying the fancy dress, eating in the most expensive restaurant, making a lot of money, traveling the world, finding a good partner. I think these things will be very common when you ask about the freedom from a lot of peoples. But if you try to question that, do you think that leaving your house and exploring the world will give you the freedom? We can see over the internet that there are a lot of people who to keep traveling the whole world all the time, and then in the end, still I think they think that they didn't actually got the freedom which they wanted. So if you think that making a lot of money is the freedom, so you can also get to know nowadays. I think you will personally know a lot of rich peoples. Rich, I don't mean that only millionaire and billionaire, but rich who will have, again, the definition of rich can be different for everyone, but I'm now talking rich in terms of money only. So you can see in your areas or in your districts, in your countries or in your states, there will be a lot of rich people which you know, and you will occasionally see them in very stressful situations, sometimes publicly showing that they are going through their very difficult situations. And so you will, do you think that making a lot of money will give you freedom? So you should, I think again. And do you think that eating the best food can give you freedom? So I think, yeah, eating the best food will definitely, I think, will be in the answers. But the best you should define, like how do you define the best? Do you think that the most expensive restaurant will give you the best food, or do you think the desired food which you want is the best food, or is it the most nutrient foods? So again, you should question these things, then you will get to know that eating the most expensive things will not actually the freedom which you want for a longer period of time in your life. And you might think that buying the expensive clothes worth of lakhs or $1,000, you can say, will give you like the feel of freedom. But you can see like a lot of people who actually wear a lot of very expensive clothes, very fancy clothes, but they still I don't think they feel the freedom. So, and you might think that the and again, I'm not giving you the cons of everything, but you can see like this is not only the cons, but you can see the positive sides of it, of every point I'm highlighting. So I'm just trying to like tell you that even like there is a constraint to everything. So you need to again redefine the definition of freedom. You might think that finding the perfect partner will give you the freedom, or maybe you might think that it is a combination of a lot of things. So you might think, no, I will not go with only one thing, like making a lot of money will not be the only thing which will give me freedom. But along with the making of a lot of money, we should also have the perfect partner. I should also have access to the best food, and I should also have the access to fancy clothes, and I should also be traveling the whole world with my partners. So you might think that this is the combination of all things will give you the freedom, right? But again, I think if you achieve everything which I mentioned, still you will want more actually, because there is one philosopher, Socrates, if you know. He told that he who is not contented with what he has would not be contented with what he would like to have. And means that if you are not happy, you're not satisfied with what you have currently, then I don't think you will be ever satisfied by getting a lot of things which you think will give you the freedom. You might not really get the freedom which you wanted when you started chasing those things. Actually, you need to understand the paradox in life. There is one quote. It said that any freedom which leads to desire for more freedom is not a freedom. So if the true freedom really means the absence of desire, then what we are chasing, most of us, what we are chasing is not freedom at all. It's just we are chasing the different kind of case which we think that give that will give us freedom. And I'm not denying the idea that we should not make a lot of money. I think that money will make a life little easier. Being rich is objectively better than being poor. You will solve a lot of problems in your life using money, that I believe. But I think after making a lot of money, after a certain point, once you earn a lot of money, then you will feel that your life is almost same like others, not in the, you can say, in the way you live, but in the experience which you experience. I think it will be mostly similar. And even when you started, I think that when you I think if you go back in time after making a lot of money, so I think you will experience that life is mostly, I'm not saying that almost identical, but mostly similar. You'll find that you could have lived very happily even if you didn't have those things earlier, because after making a lot of money, you will still wake up, you will have problems in your life. It's not like your problem will be vanished. You will not have any problem. You will always have some problems, maybe not the problems which you had earlier in the life, like the money problem, or maybe the sleeping problem. You didn't have good sofas or good ACs or good weathers, like those things you didn't have earlier. Now you might have, like the cars you didn't had but you have now. But you will have different problems, like you might think that okay, now I have Ferrari but the other guys have McLaren. You might get McLaren, then you will think that of jet, you might get jet, you will get all the things that you might start thinking in terms of companies. Then you start, like you will have the problems. I'm just giving you the perspective that what are the problems you can have after getting the money. And again, it is my perspective, I am not forcing you to believe it, but think, like you don't just blindly believe me or anyone else. Just try to think, observe, then I think you will find good answers by yourself. I might be wrong, might be right, might not, like it will not be 100% every time. So again, you should think everything as the perspective. Like this is my perspective, it might be different for you. So again, there is one actually quote from the Arthur Schopenhauer wisdom that says that man can do what he wills, but he cannot will what he wills. So you might think that having more choice will give you freedom. Like earlier you didn't had a lot of options to go to places. You only had public transports. You have a lot of delays, but now you have the bikes, cars, supercars, jets and all. So yeah, you have a lot of two choices, but it doesn't mean that it is a freedom, right? Freedom, if you define freedom with having lot of choices, then I don't think that really is the freedom. The main thing should be like, can we control what we want, or what you want is controlled by something deeper? That you should question. Why you want something? Why you want to go to places? Why you want the supercars and all? But even after getting all of these things, I think once you get a lot of money, expensive things and all, then if you will have problem, you might start seeing the mindfulness things and all, like meeting to the therapist and friends, and you do think that they will give you different perspective, because once you meet those persons, they will say that you should meditate, then you will have less problems. You should practice mindfulness. But and they will start like giving you like, these are the sources of freedom, this is the secret of freedom. But actually, if you see the people who give you this advice to practice meditation, practice mindfulness, they might be dealing with problems actually of themselves. They will be dealing with the problem most of the time. They will I think themselves will not be free. They are not enlightened, but you think they are. Okay, but I think that they are just very good at hiding their struggles. So you cannot see, or other people cannot see that they are struggling, but most of them will be going with a lot of problems, and they are just trying to get, they are just giving you advice that you should get rid of problems using these things. But if it was the secret of freedom, then they and the person who is giving advice would have achieved the freedom. So they all try to escape the problems in their life. They all start running, like they are all running from something. Okay, that I should escape these problems and all. But what if you stop running? Just think of that. What if you stopped escaping? That when you get problems, instead of trying to get the solutions, what if you just start observing the problem? Then you will change the perspective. There is one actually quote from Jean Paul. They said that the freedom is what you do with what's been done to you. It's not about escaping. It's not about escaping your circumstances, but what you do about them. How you're responding to those problems. I think that's where the freedom actually lives. And once you get all the things, the money which you wanted, the places which you wanted to travel, the partner which you wanted, the fancy clothes, expensive foods which you wanted, once you get all of this, then you will realize that it was all in your mind from the start only. It was all about your mind. If you had controlled your mind, I think you didn't had to chase these things. Again, I'm not saying that you should not get these things, but you should be happy even if you don't get these things. So like, people think that buying the expensive clothes and cars will give you the happiness, will give you the freedom which you want. So this is the problem. But if you think that even if I will get a lot of money, I might buy the car, buy the fancy dress, but even if I don't buy, then still it is not taking my it is not taking my happiness away. So that is the perspective which you guys should think, and that's where actually people should live in that way. So getting wanting something is not, I'm not saying that making a lot of money is not like is bad. It is good. Even I want I want to earn very good. I want to make a lot of money traveling the world. But again, even if I don't make a lot of money, even if I don't travel the world, it is not like it will take my happiness away. Still, I will be happy with what I got and happy with where I live, how I live, and all those things. So you should actually don't try to solve the problem which you had, but you should actually question that why this problem came, why, from where this problem arises at the first place. Because when you try to solve the problem, you're still running from the problem, you're still fighting. But when you stop trying, when you start understanding, then everything changes. And again, understanding the problem doesn't like eliminating it, you don't get rid of the problem, but it changes the relationship with your problem actually. So, and I think that's where the freedom actually lives. So once you start living with the difficult circumstances, with with the problem, and do not try to escape it, then you start living the correct way. So all the time you should not look to fix yourself, like I need to get the very fancy clothes, making a lot of money. But sometimes you should question that why you need the money, why you want the fancy clothes, why what, like why people start teaching you that you need to make a lot of money, you need to wear fancy clothes, and the other stuff which people tell you. Why is the question I think you should ask, that why they are telling, and then you will start understanding the freedom. So you should not always look for solutions, but think that the why this problem exists. So again, it's just like the Christopher Nolan, they said about the movie that don't try to they understand it, just try to feel it. And I don't remember actually the quote. So you can say the similar way that don't try to solve the problem, but just try to understand it. That will be, I think, the better way, better approach to live through the life. And actually most of the people think that the freedom is some destination. So once you achieve this thing, that thing, then you will have the freedom. So actually freedom is not the destination, it is not something you can achieve, you can acquire. It is just a space. You can say that when you stop demanding different things from the life than the things which is actually happening. So when you want the different reality, okay, that is the problem. And if you stop demanding from the life lot of things, I'm ignoring the basic things. Again, basic will have the definition, so it will go very complex. But just stop demanding from the things. I think most of the people will have the things using which they can live peacefully, they can live very good way through the life. So it is just a space when you don't demand anything, that space which you create, that okay, this is the space where I don't demand anything from the life, but whatever is happening, I will go through it, I will still be happy. You will not always be happy, or you will not always be sad again, but you should not be very stressful, and you should just go through it, just live through it. That will be, I think, the freedom. and that's how you should look forward towards any situations in life. It's not always about solving the problem, but understanding that having problem is normal. It's not like you only got this problem and you need to escape from it. There are a lot of people who have faced hard problems than yours, and it's just human. It's how we live in the life. So it's not like nobody will not have a single problem in life. So we will have the problem, and we just live through it. We will not try to escape it. We will try to understand it, and if we can solve it easily, again we'll try to solve it. Even if we don't solve it, still we will live through it. That's how you will experience the freedom. There are a lot of philosophers like Epictetus, Stoic. They said that the freedom is not procured by full enjoyment of what you desire, but by controlling the desire. So your desire will never end. You should just try to control it, control why you desire something. You'll not get what you want, but you should want different things even at the time which you want. Again, like controlling the desire. So you want something, you want fancy dress, but you should still try to control it. That getting the fancy dress will not, like, is not the solution. The solution is different, which can be achieved at present times also. Once you accept that, once you stop fighting against reality and just try to observe it, then the actual transfer will happen, and it will not be in the favor, it will not be in that it will favor your circumstances, but you will experience them, and that is the freedom. That's where the real freedom is. So when the next time people will tell you that I will give you the secret of freedom, the source of freedom, it can be the fancy clothes or making a lot of money plan or a new product, or maybe if you already have a lot of money, they will start giving you meditation tips, or they can start telling you other things that this will promise success to you. So you should always understand that these are just external things, and those things will never give you the freedom which you want. Freedom is always inside, not something which you can find, but something to stop fighting against. So just don't try to live, or don't try to change the reality, but just try to live through it, just try to experience it. That will be the freedom. That's how I think not anyone can easily actually experience the freedom, but if you practice, if you stop demanding, controlling desire, and living through the reality, experiencing with the reality, then don't try to change the reality, then you will achieve the freedom. And that's why that's what I think the freedom is. Again, if you think you have different perspective, I will be very happy to see those thoughts and see those perspectives. So you guys can comment, or maybe you guys can also create what do you think the freedom is for you, with different videos and all. It's always happy to see the thoughts of others, how people think, what are the different perspectives about freedom in the world.